Hey guys, Alex Chris Martin here. Today, we're going to be talking about a little bit of a leg workout that I did. I just kind of really want to do this like loose sort of voice recorder, voiceover, kind of just talk to you guys, tell you how you can build some big old legs, some of the key exercises I've used to build my legs, and I just think that this is going to be a really beneficial video. I know a lot of people, sometimes their excuse for not doing leg days, they don't see results, or they think that, oh, I don't know what to do, I don't know the proper exercise, I don't know blah, 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 blah. We're going to jump right into it in 5, 4, 3, 3, 2, 1. Alright, so first we're starting off with the bad boy, the king of all exercises, the barbell back squat. I did 7 sets of 5 here today with 205, and it was feeling really, really smooth. As you'll see, I initiate the movement by shooting my hips backwards and then coming down. So I try to keep essentially the barbell above my midfoot. If you watch, I do my best to keep it in a straight line. So you really want to just keep your chest high, keep those hips back, and when you squat, guys, you want to squat heavy, you want to squat deep. You can see my hip joint is passing my knee joint. That's past parallel. Some people will argue for parallel, some people will argue as deep as you can possibly go. I'm just kind of trying to get the best of both worlds there and just passing that parallel but not going super, super deep. Now that we hit our big boy for the quads and the glutes, now we're going to hit another big boy for the hamstrings and the glutes, and this is going to be the stiff leg deadlift. Now, as you can see here, it's pretty much all in my hips. Now, I'm lacking just the last inch of hip mobility, so I do get a little bit of a back arch at the very, very bottom, so that's just something you want to be careful with. This is another very important movement that you need to play with. A lot of people can't get necessarily as deep as you're watching me right now because I do have pretty good hip mobility, because if you get too deep and then you don't have that mobility, it does go into your lower back. So that like bottom inch of the rep is where it goes into my lower back, whereas with most people it would be a little bit less. The hip mobility for me has been pretty good because I do a lot of leg raises, I do a lot of these, I do a lot of regular deadlifts, and it just kind of has kept me loose and kept my hip flexors good. But these are great for building your hamstrings. I personally let the weight rest on the ground and then I'll pick it up again, so like each rep is an individual single, and I think that's just really helped me build up my hamstrings and my glutes. Alright guys, we went right on into some lying leg curls here just for some of that knee flexion hypertrophy. These were feeling super, super good today. It was cool because with this, you can really get a pump and you can isolate the hamstring. With the straight leg deadlift, sometimes it feels a little bit awkward because you're feeling it in your lower back, your glutes, maybe even part of your calves, depending on your stance and how developed certain calf muscles are, and then your hamstrings as well, obviously. But this one's really awesome because you just feel it strictly in that hamstring. You just build this awesome, awesome pump. I do tend to go a little bit higher rep on the isolation movements just because I feel like I can really just pump some blood in there and just really get a nice pump and just feel like it's about to explode. It's just a great feeling. I personally think this is the best way to get a full range of motion on a leg curl or a knee flexion movement, because since you're lying down and your hips are also elevated, your legs are even stretched down. So if these are my legs right here, my feet placement is here, and so that way I'm fully stretched at the bottom of the motion. Whereas with a seated, you kind of can already start with a little bit of a bend in your knee. And so here it just really kind of straightens them out, keeping them lying. So I do prefer the lying over the seated, but whichever works. Alright guys, right after that, just went into some standing calf raises. I've been toying around recently. I tried some heavy standing calf raises, and so was working in 5 sets of 5 here. Again, like I talked to you guys before, I've been doing the OGA 753 program. I've taken even more of a twist on it now, but heavy calves is something that I incorporated, which was super interesting to me because every time I've always had pretty good calves. Leg genetics are one of my stronger points, and I've never really done them heavy in like reps of 5, and so this was definitely different. But my calves are sore, which they've never really been sore before, so it's pretty interesting. I keep the rest to like just a minute because I really don't want to be doing calves for like 20-25 minutes. To me, legs already takes long enough and it's already brutal enough, so I limit the rest to 1 minute here and do just 5 reps for the standing. I did do the seated a little bit differently today though. You were supposed to do those heavy as well, but I think that's more of like a 6 to 8 rep range, just like the prescribed one, but I went with 20 reps just because, again, I like the pump, I like the isolation, I like the feeling of the muscle about to explode. So that's how I like to generally finish muscle groups. Like you saw, we did the stiff leg deadlifts, and that was our big, strong, heavy one, and then we went into the lying leg curls, and that's where we really burned the hamstrings, freaking blew them out, and then just pumped them full of blood. Onto abs or flabs, depending on who you are. You can't see me. Okay, sorry. Onto abs. So this is one of the very, very few movements I like for upper abs, this horizontal crunch machine, because you can really get that entire spine flexion, come down, contract. Just feels good. Trying to keep my head on the pad, trying to keep all of the curl in the spine so that it's all in the upper abdominals. Alright guys, you saw me talking about Pilates in the last leg day video I did, but I'm gonna be a little bit more in depth here. Essentially, I was having some inner knee pain, and I started doing these side-lying leg abductions. And what these do, these are just strengthening my glute medius and minimus, so that way when I squat or when I deadlift, my knees don't cave in, so I have a stronger base. So for example, you come down on a squat, a lot of people at the bottom, they have a weak medius and minimus, so their knees will cave in and then they'll press up, so that way they can try to keep it more in the quad and in the adductors. But by training this, I'm able to keep my knees either in a straight line or even a little bit outwards like I like to do, and that's just that glute medius is your base, your structure, and so that's what supports you on the way up and is able to help you keep those knees out. And for you ladies, by in turn, it grows your booty. That's just what happens. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it was entertaining for you. Hope you legitimately did like it. Drop a like if you legitimately did like it. Or if you didn't like it and you just want to help the boy out. But anyways, guys, I'm Alex Chris Martin, and I'm going to see you in the gym making all kinds of gains. Like, hi. Does this look real? Does this look real?